Hello, hello. This is Tracy Harrell, and today we are going to talk about how do you live your best, your most successful, and your most powerful year yet. I cannot believe it's December of 2022, and it's been an amazing year in a number of different ways. But I know most of us want to make 2023 an even better year, right? It's been a lot of challenges. Over the past 2 years, we've all experienced changes that I don't think any of us could have imagined. Changes that you could identify as traumatic in some sense, transformative in others, right? What if we saw this? Some people call it the great pause, right? Depends on how you look at everything. People are dying. For me, that makes me even more grateful for the life that I get to live. Hello? Right? We actually get to take our lives to the next level if we choose, right? These are decisions. How we perceive anything, that's everything. How you perceive anything that happens in your life, that determines everything. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Right? People use the term mindset, attitude is everything. Those statements are true because they're neuroscience based, right? Our brains, we get to decide what success looks like. So my question today is, are you ready to live your best, your most successful, and your most powerful year yet? It's 6:30 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. And I set this time up because I wanted to document my own personal journey as well as create a record for anyone who's truly interested in taking their life to the next level. So I am connected to a number of major organizations that are dedicated to this work. The National Black MBA Association, Seattle chapter. I'm the outgoing president. Excited to have a new president coming into that role, Dr. James Carter. We were doing this work around mindset partially for you all, right? So we're starting it now. We're going to continue it throughout, the new year into January and February as well, because we get to decide what success looks like. We individually, whether you're in an organization, whether you're an entrepreneur, whatever your passion is to support youth, right? To just be a part of a greater community, to network with other people, right? Whatever those things are, this organization, it's a nonprofit organization founded 52 years ago, right? So that's one of the primary reasons I'm showing up. Showing up for us so we can show up for ourselves, right? That's just kind of how it is. And nobody gets paid to do this work. It's a commitment to our community. It's saying we all have gifts that we can contribute to the greater good. We want people in our next generation to see us and to know that we are, right, in community. We can lead to a greater change, a greater outcome, an improved outcome, right? Be the change that you want to see. That's why I'm here. I'm being the change that I want to see, right? And that's what we all can do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a few things that I know to be true. And I'm going to invite each of you, put some comments in. I think I can see them. I'm new. I'm trying to figure out the StreamYard thing. So put some comments in. I think I'll be able to respond. DM me directly, and we will make sure there's going to be free consulting as well. We're offering free consultations, free consulting, like actually free breakthrough sessions. So I'm not just talking about what I don't know. I'm not talking about what someone told me. I'm talking about what I've been trained to do, what I've experienced myself, what I've watched, the life I've lived. Oh, taste. I can't see chat, so this is good. So listen, my people, anyone who wants to change their life, you get to do it based on what's between your ears. So I've been participating in a David Bayer challenge called the Changed Mind Challenge. It sounds a little esoteric, like, here we go again, right? But the truth is, anything you want, you can achieve. I'm saying it, but I'm also, and again, I'm going to be leading a number of different trainings around economic empowerment. I'm going to be leading trainings around mindset. I'm going to be leading but I'm also on my own personal journey. Y'all, I have over 100 pounds to lose. That means even though I'm going to be Dr. Tracy Harrell in a few months, I'm closing out a program. So I'm excelling in one sense, but I'm also in a space where I need to do some work, right? I need to change my own mind, right? In certain areas. And so that's exciting to me, right? It's exciting to say, hey guys, let's go on this journey together. So for me to decide that I'm going to put my personal journey on Front Street, that tells you my level of commitment to you, to us, right, into this process. It also should show you that at the end of the day, right, we get to, be the change not only for ourselves, but for everyone around us. Think about how your life is going to change when you get to show up for your children differently, for your spouse differently, when you show up at work differently, right? Our ability to respond differently in every aspect of our life. That's about how do we think differently about our beliefs? What do we believe? What do we think? Right? How we feel about something. Have you ever had an emotion, a feeling, and you're like, this is preventing me, right? Or just wanted to do something and you didn't, and you didn't know why? Said you wanted to do something, but really didn't want to put in the work. That's me, right? In certain areas. In other areas, I'm all in, I double down. But there are always those spaces in our lives, right, where we need to do more work. So I am going to ask each of you to do two things. Think about something that you want to improve. Think about your year 2022, right? Think about the lessons you've learned, and then look forward into 2023, because the truth is, what's happened in our past is critical. It's important. But you have a lot more control over what's going to happen in your future than you do changing anything in the past, right? It's a done deal. So when we talk about changing your mind, it's about changing your beliefs, right? So for me, the idea of helping someone with their business, or again, anything that you have said you wanted to do and you're not where you want to be, right? With success, we have something called a success wheel of life. So I'm also a certified success coach with Success Magazine. And the first thing that I do with people when we're coaching is, we do an assessment, right? We look at the success wheel of life. We ask real questions, right? Things that you probably wouldn't think of yourself. But we start with the basics. Like most people know, right? If they looked at their life and looked at their careers, the financials, their relationships, whether it's the personal loving relationships, familiar relationships, the friendships, right, that are in our lives, right? When you look at your business or your career, right? When you look at your contribution to community, some of the richest, most powerful people in the world have all these major successes in life financially. But then they decide, at the end of the day, what can I do to contribute to the lives of others? That's really, right? We all were not put on this earth as individual beings, right? We're communal in nature. So Stacey says she wants to save and invest more, exercise more, and write more. Ooh, I love that. I love it. Stacey, you could do all of those things. Whatever those things are that you want to do more of in 2023, let's talk about it. But let's do more than talk about it. Let's make it happen. So what we do as a part of this process is, and this is what David Bayer has been walking us through as a part of his Changed Mind Challenge, and you can still participate. It's all free. It's called the changedmindchallenge.com. It's a free Facebook group, and it's amazing. It's really wonderful. And then several of us are certified facilitators and coaches within the content of changing your mind, right? There's a process that we use that's immediate, by the way, right? It's deep. It's really about truly driving change, long-term, permanent change, right? You're not just getting excited in the moment. You're saying, what do I believe? And we talked about those 5 primary drivers, right? We talked about your beliefs, which are core to everything, right? Your beliefs dictate your thoughts. Your thoughts as a human being, right? It creates certain emotions and feelings. That's the third piece of those 5 primary drivers. Based on how you're feeling, it's going to dictate your actions, right? Whether you do or not do a thing, it's really kind of how you feel about it. But it's, again, linked to your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, which lead to your results. So the actions lead to the results that you get. So you can try to change your emotions, but really what we know is that beliefs dictate your life, the outcome of your life, every aspect of that. So if you, again, what we would do with you one-on-one, and Stacey, I'm happy to schedule some time with you individually. We'll walk through some things. Anyone, again, DM me. We're going to offer at least five free coaching sessions, right? And we can do them live or not. I'm that confident in the process, right? I'm that confident that we can have breakthroughs without question. Having an honest conversation about who we are and what we want. Why aren't we there? What limiting beliefs, right, do we currently have? So that was really the exercise that we did over the past couple of days. Each day there was something different. We started day 1 with really identifying our spiritual vision, right? Our life vision, the vision for our careers or our businesses. So when you start with the vision, you're like, okay, here's what I want. And a lot of times people haven't spent a lot of time co-creating that in their head. They know what they don't want. But do you really spend time thinking about what you do want? How cool is that? So when you think about what you want, when you think about your spiritual vision, that's step 1, right? It's important to spend quality time and to realize, from a brain activation perspective, when you spend time co-creating what you want, thinking about it, visualizing it, it's really how the brain functions. There was a Harvard study, I think back in 2009, that basically demonstrated, and it's been repeated thousands of times, right, in universities around the world, right? But your brain does not know the difference between what really happened in actual memory and what you imagine happening. So there was a study in Harvard. The first one was with piano players. And it talked about how, when they were playing the piano, they had a visual of their brain and certain aspects of your brain lights up. And then they had them actually imagine playing the piano. And those same areas of the brain lights up. Right. So basically, it's been proven 1,000 times with basketball, like people practicing actual going into the gym and practicing for hours versus people imagining, that they're doing the free throws, right? And same level of progress. Our brain doesn't know the difference. Practice is practice. Planning is planning. Co-creating the future that you want, you have the power to do that right now. If your bank account is not showing the number that you want, you can't percolate and think about the fact that it's not the number that you want and what could happen. No, you're supposed to think about and visualize, right, where you want it to be, what you can do. We talk about being in a powerful state versus being in a primal state. That's really kind of the awareness that I want to bring to you right now, right? The idea of being in a powerful state says, right, I'm in a space where I understand, I believe, you're creative, right? You're resourceful, you're imaginative. As opposed to being in a primal state, which is what happens, when you're thinking about what you don't have, right? Then you're nervous. There's some, anxiety that sets in, that fight or flight syndrome, that mentality. You talk about the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic systems, right, that are activated in our bodies. So there's 2 different things: knowing where to go, knowing what to do in your own mind when thoughts come up, Maybe even when reality sets in. When I look at my bank account, sometimes I'm like, ooh, ooh. Right? I do it most. I mean, I've done most things I've done for free. God has blessed me in 1,000 different ways. I can tell. I can tell you that. And yes, do definitely DM me. I would love that. Um, but it's critical, right, that we do work every day, moment by moment, to think about, like, what are we thinking, right? Where are we at? What state are we in? So what we say with the David Bear methodology is that there's two states of being. You're either in a powerful state of being or a primal state of being, right? Powerful, again, it's about how you feel. Our bodies are scientifically designed, chemically designed. You talk about energy and the law of attraction, and all those things are a part of it. So when you feel good, you are more creative. You're able to do more. You're going to attract. That's why they call it the attraction. So it's an energetic element to this as well. But there's also a scientific, like, this isn't just energetic, believe it. The secret was not just the secret. The secret is a part of the story. If you've ever read the book The Secret, it talks about the law of attraction. That's a part of it, right? Knowing that there's some energy, metaphysically and physically and scientifically, it's been proven, it's all connected, right? It's neuroscience, right? It's biology, it's metaphysics, it's all the things connected. That's what really makes this so exciting. So whether you believe it all, whether you know the details or it all, it doesn't matter. We got a very clear, very simple process. Just know that there are two distinctions. There's a powerful state and a primal state, and you want to spend more time in a powerful state. Can I get an amen in the chat? Right? You want to spend more time in a powerful state of being, period. And the truth of the matter is, we don't even know that many of us don't activate the control that we have around the state of being that we're in. We allow our thoughts to come in to change how we think. We allow other people's mentality to change how we think. We allow even maybe reality to change how we think in the state that we're in. So the trick to truly transforming, the trick to having the life that you love, the trick to living the most powerful and successful year of your life, right? Because it gets better and better. As you build these skills, it gets easier and easier. So really, the first thing is the awareness that you can be in a powerful state or a primal state, and how you get into a powerful state is really addressing, like, the limiting beliefs. So if you're in a primal state, then you have to ask yourself, what am I thinking and what am I feeling? I'm going to pull up I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I'm going to pull up a couple of things that David he had a little list of those feelings that we have, and I want to talk through that real quick. So if you're in a powerful state, right, you know it because you feel joy, right? You feel peace. You typically feel calm, curious. Oftentimes we feel courageous. We are definitely more confident when you're in a powerful state, right? You know what it feels like. There's some excitement. There's optimism. You want to celebrate what's happening. There's that gratitude, all the things, hope, right? When you're in a powerful state of being, you know it, and you feel it. You feel like you can actually drive change because you can. Because you've actually decided in that moment that the universe is working for your good. You've decided in that moment, right, that I can accomplish the goals that I've set out. To the contrary, when you're in a primal state, again, you're stressed out, there's disappointment, maybe some boredom, you're angry, there's impatience, like all worry, sometimes sadness, a little anger, irritation, perhaps, right? We know sometimes it's just you're frozen. When you're in a primal state, that fight or flight, that's what they call it. But oftentimes in our stage of existence, it's fight or flight or freeze, right? We're just not moving forward when you should, how you should, right? I'm just saying, fight or flight doesn't necessarily mean you're running away from something. It could just mean that you're just not doing what you were meant to do, right? It could just mean that you're not activated, right, the way you should be. the way you could be, the way in your heart of hearts you want to be. You know I'm telling the truth. Right? I have felt that way. I mean, I've actually, in some areas of our life, we all have. It's the human, capacity to respond, right, in a certain way, almost automatically, right? Because we're designed to stay in that comfort zone. So when we want to do something that's extra, that's a bonus, that's exciting, right? You got to move out of where you were to where you want to be. And the exciting thing is you have the power to do this, right? I'm gonna go as far as to say you have a superpower to do this. You have the ability at a superpower level. I have someone who said, I'm not your superwoman. It's a great presentation. And we're not super women in that we can do everything for everyone. We are super women, super men, superhuman, right? When we keep ourselves more in a powerful state, that is when you're able to thrive. That's when you're able to truly move your life to the next level. One thing David Bear likes to say with his training, again, this is the Changed Mind Challenge. One thing he likes to say is the only cause of suffering is your own thinking. Now, he takes that to an extreme. I think I believe the concept of, say you were abandoned by your mother as a child. That makes you think I'm not good enough. Well, that's not what that's a story, right? The truth is maybe your mother put you up for adoption. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. Doesn't mean she didn't want you. There could have been 1,000 other circumstances. So you have a story that you add to the actual experience, right? For example, you could say, I don't know how to do a certain thing, right? I don't know how to do this thing. That's the experience you're having. The story that you add to it is, I'll never get it right. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. No, we all have the capacity to learn, right? So having an experience versus telling a story, yourself a story about it, right? Those are the differences. That's kind of how we get ourselves stuck. And so what we're able to do with this work, this changed mind, this work that's through David Bear. Again, I'm one of his facilitators. So I've drank the Kool-Aid. I've trained extensively. I am certified to help anyone actually live the life that they want. It's exciting. But I'm also continuing on my journey. And that's why I have David Bear as my coach, right? Because like I said, I'm on this now public weight loss journey. I've talked about it before, 1,000 times before, right? But I've never said I'm actually going to do the work around changing my mind and going even deeper, right? Think about like not having enough money in your account. Like right now, I may have a little bit of money in my account. You've now said I'm going to run out of money, right? That's a story. The experience is that my balance is not what I want it to be. Like I said, I've definitely had that experience. It doesn't mean I'm going to run out of money. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact, it's an opportunity for me to just be even more grateful and faithful because I've always had exactly what I needed. I've never run out of anything, right? And so for me, I've used this last 5 years as a faith walk like nobody's business. Becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a 3-time internationally best-selling author, 4-time really, if you think about my 3rd book that was first and second edition. But being able to contribute to books that have changed people's lives, that have contributed to the goodness within the world, that's all happened while I'm on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur that actually not only loves the work, but gets paid to do the work, right? And am leading a nonprofit organization. And I will always give back freely, right? So that's why I'm saying we're offering free coaching to anyone who's part of the National Black MBA Association. We're offering free coaching to anyone who's part of Girl Check. I'm basically offering some free coaching to people. It's just, I want you to have a story to tell. I want you to be able to live your best life. I want you to see that it's actually easier than you think, right? To really think through the life that you want to lead, to stop those limiting beliefs when they come in, and to create new powerful beliefs. That's the process. And when you do it, it's permanent. When you change your beliefs, you're not dealing with the same thing over and over and over. You're not. Because the quality of your limiting beliefs, right, it affects the quality of your life. When you understand that those limiting beliefs are not true. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat and looking at some things, people responding. Yeah, they're not true. Thank you for that. They're just not true. Limiting beliefs. I'm going to run out of money. It's not true, right? And your body actually tells you when something is true or not true, right? When you feel anxious, tightness, that negative energy, right? You can pause at that moment and say, okay, what am I thinking right now? What am I thinking? Because it's probably not true. And that's kind of how we focus on living a powerful life, or being in kind of that primal state where you can't thrive. So we talk about the power of decision. So when you think about your beliefs, right, you get to use this nervous system within your body, right, as an emotional guidance system, basically. When you feel good, right, you're typically in a powerful state. You're feeling those positive things we talked about earlier. And when you feel that negative energy, when you feel the tightness, uncomfortable, typically you can identify that that's a limiting belief. There's something about that isn't resonating, right, with my truth, the truth that is within me. So when we change our beliefs, we actually change our lives. That's how it works, right? We get to change our lives. And so the one thing that I think people may or may not have as a core belief is that you get to change everything in the moment. So David Baer says that beliefs are decisions. And if beliefs are decisions and you get to decide if you're going to have a powerful belief or a primal belief, most of us would choose a powerful one, right? There you go. So the work is really in focusing on the power of decision, using what we call a response ability. You have the ability to respond, and you respond by making a new decision, right? When that limiting belief comes in, you say, nope, that's not me, right? That's not true. So you get to actually imagine going back to that original, what is your destiny? What do you want to happen in this moment? You can make it happen, right? You get to use your mind to create a memory of an experience that hasn't happened yet by percolating on it in advance. So you kind of think about this idea of thoughts and ideas that you may not have access to if you were in a primal state. But when you're in a powerful state and you're saying, I can do this, right? You're right, you can. Right? And you get to create memories through your imagination that will allow you to experience what hasn't even happened yet. So when I think about my life and some of the work I'm doing right now, again, some of these things happen naturally, automatically for me. I've set aside this area of my life, full disclosure, right? Full disclosure. I'm excited to transform in public. I'm excited to do the work. I'm not saying it's going to be like this miraculous thing for anyone else, right? But it's going to be miraculous in the sense that, we get to demonstrate actually a physical transformation on top of the mental one that happens. There's something kind of cool about that. So most people, right, have some desire to change something in their life. And for each of us, whatever that thing is, if it's just being more patient with your child, right? I don't have children by choice, right? So that for me, I've helped people to do that, right? And I know how impactful it can be. If it's about being more patient and loving with your spouse or people that love you and your family, that's something we can do. It's about having a conversation about what you believe about that person. If your response is edgy, it's because you believe something about that person that we can change. That's the responsibility. That's the changing your beliefs, having a powerful belief, living in a positive, powerful state. Someone could have harmed you. The deeper work that David is doing now, which I'm so excited to be a part of. When I say he's doing this free Changed Mind challenge, he's doing a free challenge, but he's also going to be offering us this 10-week, I think he said, like the next step of going deeper into what he calls the whole human framework, right? And what's exciting about the whole human framework is, the easy changes, or like he calls it like the 55% of the changes, they can happen relatively quickly. right? Because you had a belief. We work through this decision matrix where, what was your limiting belief? We talk about identifying a new powerful belief, and then we create evidence to support it. And then there's a process, kind of that works through it. But that's basically it, right? Once you have a new belief, your thoughts change, your emotions change, your actions change, your results change, period. It literally, I'm making it sound simple because it is. It's a process that we've been trained to do, but I'm just saying it's not as complex as, you don't have to go through 75 years of therapy about what happened, in your life in the past, because what happened in the past does not dictate what's going to happen in your future. You have a response ability to respond differently, to create new beliefs, and to change your life. This is the story. I'm going to repeat it over and over because it's true. I know it's true. I've had it happen in my life. I am a different person than I was last year and the year before that. Totally different person in a good way. I have some more work to do, clearly. But I can tell you this works. It works. It works. It works. It works. So again, I'm putting my life out there and asking each of you to do the same. There's no reason why 2023 can't be your best, most successful, and most powerful year yet. That's my series that I'm leading, and it's called Your Best How to Have Achieving Your Best, Most Successful, Most Powerful Year Yet. That's the series that I'll be leading in 2023, right? There'll be free sessions. I'll be showing up, right? I'll be talking to people. I'll be inviting you in to talk about where you are, right? Like that's just who I am and what I was put on this earth to do, without a doubt, right? If you have a business, hello, business owners. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. Oh my God, right? Because think about it. I spent 25 years in corporate America, always surrounded by larger organization teams and groups, and felt very impactful, right? But I knew that there was more for me, more that I wanted to contribute across organizations in my community. So I've been part of the National Black MBA for 25 years or so as well, giving back to an organization that gave to me. And so as a volunteer leader within that organization, I've known that there was always more. And so the one thing that is this common denominator to whatever you're trying to achieve is that you actually have control. You have the ability to achieve the life that you want. Period. It's not more complex than that. Okay. So I'll keep moving. So back to this concept of imagination, back to this idea of saying, think about what you want, think about your vision for your life. And then in the moment, right, once you have some solid foundation about what you want, for me, I want to make sure I wake up in the morning. I want to make sure I'm physical. Throughout the day, I'm walking with Girl Trek. I'm being more physical, but I'm also choosing different foods, not drinking sugary beverages, stuff like that. And do I always get it right? Of course I don't, but I can get better and better every day, right? We're human. So if you can get better and better every day, you can actually create memories. It's about rewiring your brain. So we actually have the scripts on how to rewire your brain so that those grooves in the brain, those neuro pathways, that have been ingrained over years, even decades. I've done breakthroughs with people, and I have videos and things of people where I just did a session, and men, women, children have said, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm not doing anything. I'm just facilitating a conversation that they're actually doing it. They actually are changing their own lives. I'm not doing it. We're not actually doing anything except hopefully providing some awareness, potentially asking some questions that you get to think about in the moment, helping to guide a little bit of a Sherpa, right? Helping to guide a conversation direction on how to get to that next level. It's all very exciting. It really is. So I'll keep going. So you get to use your mind to create a memory or an experience that has not happened yet, which gives you access to different ideas and things, right? Resources that you wouldn't have if you were in a different mindset. That's super exciting for me. So if you're waiting around for life to show you how to do something, that's typically why things don't move as quickly as we want them to, right? Because if you're like, okay, I could do this, but I don't know how, so I'm not going to do it. It's actually backwards. So you actually start moving. I think David uses some analogies around like lily pads, like how you were, hopping across a pond and you were a frog, and right, like the lily pads kind of, you go from one to one to one. You may not actually even have visibility to what the next one is, but you got to make the leap still. You got to take the steps to move forward. And the more you do the work, the more able you are to do the work, right? To take the next step. You've now done it. Ooh, I feel good. Now you take the next leap. Okay, I feel good. You don't have to know how you're going to complete the entire thing, right? If you want to start a business, right, there's some work you can do, right? Prep work, some, things we could do. Absolutely. But really believing that you can put you in a different state of mind, that powerful state that will allow you to be more creative. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But there are tools that we teach you when you decide differently. There's 4 incredible things that actually happen, right? We call it the power of decision. So your decisions do dictate your thoughts, right? They change your reality. They actually help you to truly move to a different place, a moment by moment, right? We're only paying attention to a fraction of what really is happening around us. So when you decide that I am fit and I love, being fit, I love working out, I love eating healthy, then I'm going to be focused on those things that are going to be aligned with that decision. So that's part of my journey, right? I love eating healthy. I love eating healthy whole foods, right? And I say that, right? And my choices will be more aligned to that, right? If I talk about being physically fit and being well, then I'm going to be more aligned to do that as well. So it's like, when you buy a blue car, right? A blue Tesla, all right? You're going to see blue Teslas because that's now the coolest car on the road in your mind. They've been there all along, but you're going to see more of them because you've now focused on them. The same thing happens when you make different decisions, right? You get to focus on new things, right? Reality actually changes. When you make a new decision, your perception of reality changes. Let me put it that way, right? Reality has always been what reality is, but you now are pulling in different things. You now have access to new coincidences and synchronicities because you're seeking them. You're back to the law of attraction. You're drawing them in. You're saying money flows to me. Someone's going to go to my site, itsallbiggerthanme.com, and just, sign up for some time, support me in a number of different ways. Like, money flows to me, checks flow into me. Like, if you believe that, it will. If you think about the bills that need to be paid, right? There's a different energy that happens there, right? You see, I even went down. When you think about the things that are coming to you, there's an openness, there's an invitation, there's a synchronicity, all the things that we want to happen. It's a beautiful thing, right? So you get to change. It's called the power of decision. Things change as you change. Thrilling. So if you think there's only 2 states of being, the powerful state and the primal state, and that your decisions actually help you to move to a different place, then you get to actually change your brain. The changing of your brain is really, this ability to say, I'm going to create a new belief, right? Permanent transformation happens when you decide something differently. It's rewiring your brain. So you get to decide that limiting belief, whatever you used to believe, it's just not true. David Baer uses the term, he calls it unintelligent thinking. So he says, these limiting beliefs, they're just unintelligent. Right? So when you see them as just not true, it's like the light bulb. You can't unsee a truth, right? When you see so your limiting belief said, that you weren't good enough, right? That you really don't do things correctly, whatever, the things that we have. And there's a lot of people I've worked with that actually have core beliefs, that they're just not good enough. Thank God that's never been my problem. It sounds bad, but someone told me when I was young that I was the child of the divine, right? We all are. They told me about the creation and life, and that life really is working out for our good. So I was raised with a pretty positive outlook, right, on life. And so I know I'm good enough. And so are you. Like, we all are. So whatever that limiting belief is or was, you get to decide on a new powerful belief. And that belief is I'm more than enough. And so are you. You're amazing, right? You have always been more than enough. If that's your new powerful belief, then you can add some evidence to step 3 of this decision matrix, right? Identify the limiting belief. You know that it's not true. What's the opposite of that limiting belief? If you think you're not good enough, the opposite is, of course I am, right? If you think this person in your life who you might have some energy with, if you think that they are just always after you, that's a whole different conversation, but we can help you with interpersonal relationships by thinking differently about that individual, going a little deeper, creating a new belief about that person. It'll change how you approach them, regardless, even if their reaction is exactly the same, you won't be the same. The outcome will be different. That's how you change your life. It sounds so simple. And for me, it's literally how my brain has been wired for decades. David has just done such a great job of laying out a platform and a process and a methodology that allows us to help other people get here really quickly to create this permanent change in our minds. So anyway, I'll move on. So we're talking about permanent transformation. So if you believe that mindset is, everything, right? He talks about the evolution of the species, but this decision matrix, which is good stuff. I'm not. Just join us if you can in the Changed Mind Challenge. It's www. I think I said it, but it's changedmindchallenge.com. David is going to do a 2-hour session today. 2 hours, deep dive. So if you haven't, if you haven't done the work in the past, it's not too late to join us. So he's going to do a 2-hour session today, and there's going to be a session on Saturday as well. So if you want to see the master in action, and then he's going to be offering an opportunity to engage deeper. I'm going to definitely participate, whatever he's talking about, right? This 10 weeks of what he's calling the whole human framework. I'm in. I'm all in, right? Because again, I can help other people on their journey, but I'm also working on mine. So I need a coach. Coaches need coaches too. So he's going to be coaching me on my weight loss, right? On my mindset regarding money. I've been so fortunate and blessed in my corporate career. I've been able to, do some work, and I started a ministry. And so, and I have read like 1,000 books. So my brain is full of scientific information, not fiction books, nonfiction books about this process, how we optimize, right? How people have done the work. And so for me, like, this is why I was put on this earth. So I'm not doing this work because for any reason to get rich. I'm doing it because I know this is why I was put on this earth. My level of courageous energy is divinely inspired. Right? The work I do regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion, different conversation, but very much connected, right? I bring in some of these concepts into that diversity and inclusion work as well for corporations. It's so exciting. So I'm going to stay focused. I did get excited, but I'm actually here to support you, to support my community. So again, the National Black MBA Association, any members that reach out, first 5 will get free coaching sessions from me. And thank you for putting in the chat that you will DM me. That's all you got to do. I'm in. Like, I want to help people. Nothing excites me more, but we also want to empower you to go on this journey, right? So changedmindchallenge.com is the website, and you would join a free Facebook group, which David Bear leads. He's fascinating and amazing. And again, there's an offer coming to connect with him for 10 weeks to go even deeper on this whole human framework. So I'm excited. But let me just tell you a little bit more about this decision matrix. So I was just giving you the overview. This is one of the tools. It's kind of one of the first 3 distinctions. It's kind of the language that David uses. The first distinction I mentioned was you could be in a powerful state or a primal state. Right. And you choose a powerful state. That's the joy. That's the inspiration. Right. That's the courage. That's the confidence. That's when you're, I can use the word parasympathetic. Right. But it's parasympathetic versus sympathetic when you're in the fight, flight, or freeze stage. That's what we call being in a primal state. Right. When you're nervous and you're irritated. You're angry, you're just not in a happy place. And you feel it, you're tight, you're, frozen, you're not confident, right? All the things. That's called being in a primal state. And if you're thinking about and percolating on the negative, that's how you stay in a primal state. So we say, we don't allow those thoughts to land, right? We actually go to a different place and we say, what is the core limiting belief behind that? We change the limiting belief. We first identify the limiting belief, which David defines as a thought, a doubt, some resistance, some story that you're telling yourself, which is not in alignment with what you want to create in your life. It's something that does not feel good, right? So when you're not doing what you want, that's really when this is the most powerful, right? So you're able to say, identify the limiting belief, acknowledge that if it doesn't feel good, then in some way it's just not true. So you identify that limiting belief, think about what must I be believing right now, right? For these thoughts to be coming in my head, what must I believe? That's the journey that we can help you get to if you're not, some people need to get there. Once you've done it a few times, it's like, okay, you could, your life changes in a beautiful way. So acknowledge that if it doesn't feel good, then in some way it can't be true. That's step 2. You've identified the limiting belief, step 1. You're acknowledging that belief can't be true as step 2. Step 3, if it's not true, then some form of the opposite must be true, right? That's the really step 1, 2, and 3 is really one thing. Identify a limiting belief and know that it's not true. He's broken it up into 3 steps, but it's really saying, it's because it's new. But for us, it's a limiting belief. It's not true. So what's the opposite? What is true? So step 4 is he identifies this as making a new decision that is aligned to the outcome that you want. It's going to be an outcome that feels good to you. It's exciting. So if we're saying the decision matrix is as simple as waking up and deciding, right, that I'm going to do something different, that's super cool. That's super, super cool, right? I can decide differently. We call it the response ability, your ability to respond differently. So it's not about anything other than deciding something different, creating a new belief, not a limiting belief, but a powerful belief, right? And then you're going to find evidence for that new powerful belief. If the opposite of what you thought, that limiting belief, is true, that powerful belief, powerful decision, right? That is your new belief. So we're not even thinking about the other one anymore. Let me just pause and say, when those thoughts come in your head, you are saying, oh, I believe this, right? I believe I'm more than good enough. If you thought that you're not, right? I am more than enough, right? Financial blessings are flowing my way. I enjoy eating whole foods. This person, whoever they are, is, whoever you might be having some difficulty with, then you want to think differently about that person. That's the journey. So make a new decision that is more aligned with your outcome that also feels good. And then find evidence for that new decision that is actually already true. So again, depending on what your limiting belief was and what your new belief is, you get to now build on it, right? And it's not a one-time thing. We do it as a one-time process to start, but then you want to reinforce that on a regular basis, right? That's why people have affirmations. You're repeating these beliefs to yourself. You're repeating them out loud, right? When the thoughts come in, you're reminding yourself, right? You're digging deeper neural pathways in your brain, right? You're making this an experience that is optimized, right? For you and for the outcome that you want. So that finding evidence, right? When you work out, you feel great. You're like, oh, I do love to work out. When you eat something healthy, a salad, right? Some vegetables, some lean meats or whatever. And you're like, oh my God, I feel so highly energetic, as opposed to eating something sweet and sugary that, makes you plummet, energy. I'm talking to myself, by the way. a journey. It's a journey, baby. So I'm excited. Again, I had lemonade. Let me see if I have it still in here. Like I drank lemonade the other day, yesterday. Actually, I brought this in because I wanted to share. Went to Trader Joe's before it snowed right here in Seattle, and I got some lemonade, some fresh squeezed lemonade, right, which is seriously just lemons and sugar. Now, there's nothing nutritional about that. Now, the lemons are one thing; it's organic, so I guess that you see, it's a work in progress. I'm gonna laugh about this, right? As my journey continues, but in my head it was, it's a work in progress, so I got to do this work and feel good about it. So let me just show this again. Can you see that? You can't really see it anyway. You can't really see it anyway. Okay, it's lemonade, right? It's fresh lemonade from Trader Joe's. So what you get to do is put yourself, oh my God, there's lots and lots of chats. I was looking at multiple things. So I'm going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and all the chats are coming in, and I'm trying to like monitor them all. So Pam is saying one of her limiting beliefs is, I don't like to work out, but she walks for mental health. I love that. So again, Pam, I hope you are one of the individuals that will also DM me. I'm offering some free coaching, at least a free coaching session, because I want to help my people. That's it. I want to help my people, and I can, we can. Go to the David Bear. It's the Changed Mind Challenge. Today is day 5. So he's going to do a recap. He's going to do a 2-hour session today, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I decided to come on early and to do some talking and to get people go check it out. He's amazing. So he's my coach. Like I said, I'm a certified facilitator with David Bear. I'm a certified success coach with Success Magazine. This is what I love to do. So join us. Okay, so thank you guys. Definitely DM me. Keep the chats going. I can't do both. I apologize. So I'll keep coming back and looking at the chats, but there's lots of energy and I love it. I came on super early also because I wanted to make sure that people understood the opportunity that exists to change your life. You change your life by changing your mind. So I'll do a quick recap, right? This is how you do it. You do it simply by deciding a new belief, right? Beliefs are decisions. So if you have a limiting belief in your mind right now, you get to decide to do something differently. So I'm going to go back right here. And I wanted to clarify this decision matrix, right? When you see the truth of your new decision and the lie of your limiting belief, that's when everything changes, right? That's when it actually becomes a no-brainer, right? You identify the limiting belief. This is like completing a decision matrix. Draw a table on a piece of paper. The first column is, this is my limiting beliefs. Just say with one belief. Make a new empowering decision, a powerful decision, something that will empower you, right, to create the life that you want. And then column 3 is, what evidence do you have for the fact that this belief is true? A belief is really core to everything. So if you think about your beliefs as, some people call them affirmations, and I turn mine into affirmations. So you wake up and you're like, yes, I love working out. I love eating healthy, whole foods. I love you focus on the positive. You don't talk about the negative. I don't like sweet, sugary foods, but that I believe that there's nothing healthy about, cereal. I have some history where I used to, and I haven't for a long time, but I used to crave, box cereal, those sweetie cereals like Captain Crunch and Lucky Charms, right? That was like a snack that I would allow myself. So around Thanksgiving, I was telling them that I had decided I was going to allow myself, I was going to make Rice Krispie treats for an event, and I was going to allow myself some cereal, right? I was going to put some things in, whatever. I was going to allow myself some cereal, put it that way. And I was going to optimize the plain Rice Krispie treats with other types of cereal inside of it, so it's kind of a thing. And so I went to the store to buy some cereal, and I realized that that's like sending a alcoholic to the neighborhood store to go make some eggnog with rum in it, right? No, 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 no. And I'm not an alcoholic. I don't really like to drink. I don't really have any other vices, but I used to use food like a reward, right? And so if you hear me, if you've ever done that, put it in the chat, right? You do things that you know are contradictory to what you say you want. Those are limiting beliefs, right? That's when you can go in and be like, okay, hey, hello, I'm going to create new beliefs. And I have to say this out. Like I have to document this whole story in detail. I didn't do this before, but I have to document this in detail right now, because truly what's going to happen is when my new beliefs are layered in, and as I build on those new beliefs, the idea of what I'm talking about right now, the fact that I drank half of this lemonade, I've had this for 3 days now. It's not that much, but I drank some of it. And then after I drank the first little bit, it was like, this isn't healthy. And my legs started cramping a little bit. I was like, oh my God, I bet it was that sugary drink. Now, maybe it wasn't, who knows? But that was kind of the new thing that happened, is me drinking this sugary lemonade. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to drink any more of that. But I did. Like, I didn't throw it away. So my empowering thing that I'm going to do today is pour this down the drain, right? So I won't have any more of it. Not because I can't, just because I choose not to, right? If I now believe that, my body loves delicious water, right? Great, loves every drop of the water, right? And if I believe that I love whole and healthy foods, if I believe that I love to work out, then those things are true. And this is not an option. Not saying that I will never drink lemonade again, but it won't be regular for sure, right? And if I love water, I'm going to choose this more because I've decided this is actually better for me. I was saying yesterday that I actually layer on conversations about my spiritual journey. So if I say, that, me being healthier, because in essence, I'm cute. So I need to lose 100 pounds. But in my mind, I'm like, do I really need to lose the weight? We were talking about limiting beliefs. And I'm like, of course I do. Like, yes, I do. Now there's even medical reasons. I'm borderline this and borderline that. But, I need to get my act together. Right. So I am. But what made it more meaningful for me is I had to connect this to my spiritual journey. If I'm saying I am living my best life because I'm doing what I know I was divinely put on this earth to do, like my level of courageous energy around activation is off the charts, off the charts. So I will say that our ability to drive real change is based on what we believe, period, right? This decision matrix sounds super simple. I just slowed down my tone because I wanted to kind of bring it in and bring it back to you. But if I'm not willing to, give you everything that I have and share everything that I know, I feel like that in itself is part of my contribution to the universe. Now, me just telling you something might not be the same as me actually coaching you on your particular issue, right? Your particular opportunity, helping you get to your challenge. That's work that I would love to do. But at least sharing information that I know can be transformative is a part of why I was put on this earth. So I'm putting it out there. This is the Changed Mind Challenge with David Baer. He's my coach. I'm trained as a facilitator and a coach as well to help you on your journey. Well, he is amazing. And like I said, changedmindchallenge.com. It's 11 a.m. when the next session happens. And he's going to do a deep dive session, 2 hours today. And then there's a bonus session on Saturday. And he's going to be offering our communities, right, a way to stay connected with him. And again, I like I said, I've drank the Kool-Aid. Officially. Like, I believe this works. I know it works. I've seen it work in my life. And I'm going to, again, put my fat girl journey on Front Street. Right? Like, I'm putting my journey on Front Street. I'm basically saying, I'll do some other videos. I've done this already before, but let me see how this looks. Okay, so it's not going to work. Yeah, I think I have this thing too high. I think. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay. So I was just going to show you my belly, but it's here. Right. Like it's here. So I got these rolls, right? I'll have pictures, and I'm not going to wait till I'm done because that's the chicken route. Hello? The courageous route is to say, hello, here I am right now, rolls and all, and let's go on this journey together, right? And that's the courageous route. That's what I'm saying we all can do, is we can all drive change in whatever it is, whatever you want to do in your life, you can drive change. So I am going to, again, this is the gift I'm recapping. I said I would give highlights from the David Bayer sessions. I'm not, doing anything other than inviting you to join us on this journey, the Changed Mind Challenge. And over 30,000 people have been a part of this David Bayer mentality. I'm not even going past that. And that's just literally part one, right? This is the beginning. It's like the intro level to this work. Deciding that there are two states of being, a powerful state and a primal state. This is my recap. Two states of being, a powerful state and a primal state. When you're in a powerful state, you're courageous, right? You're high energy, you're creative, you're confident. And when you're in a primal state, you're anxious, you're worrying. You might be angry, disappointed, right? It's that fight or flight mentality. You know what I mean, right? It's that time and space when you're not doing what you want. So they talk about fight and flight. It's either fight, flight, or freeze. Oftentimes we're just not moving forward. And you have an opportunity right now. Make 2023 your best, your most successful, your most powerful year yet. And we're giving you for free. This is the recipe to do it. Again, make 2023 your best, most successful, and most powerful year yet. This is how you do it, right? Recognize that power is in here. This is the Changed Mind Challenge. So you get to decide what success looks like. It's very exciting, actually. You get to decide what success looks like. You get to determine the level of progress that you're going to make on any goal that you've set up for yourself. It's super exciting. It really is. So decide, understand that there's two states of being, that your decisions dictate your destiny, right? We talked about the 5 primary drivers of human existence, right? It's the roadmap to how the brain works. And we say that your beliefs dictate everything. They do. Your beliefs dictate your thoughts. Your thoughts lead to your emotions. Your emotions determine your actions, and your actions lead to your results. So it's the 5 primary drivers. That's just how this all works. And so we go to the source. We say we can help you change your beliefs, which will change everything. Your beliefs will change your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your results. And then being able to identify, why am I not doing what I want to do? That's identifying the limiting belief. That's step 1. So we have coaches and trainers. That's what I do, is to help people really identify what are the limiting beliefs, right? We help you move through that process. This is just level 1, right? But this is kind of like that low-hanging fruit. If you're successful in most areas of your life, but you have some areas where you're just not as optimized as you'd like, you don't have to be it doesn't have to be a problem. It could be that you just want to get better, right? You want to be more patient. Well, why aren't you? You want to be more patient with your children, or more open with your spouse or your loved one, right? You want to start a business. You want to get to the next level in your career. These are things that you can do, that you should do, right? That you can move to the next level based on your beliefs. So I'm excited just by putting this information out there for free. I will continue to do so. I will continue to show up. I'm actually going to use my own personal life as a journey. Again, it's not a direct path, right? I wear jewelry that like has rings and things. that have these swirlies in them, right? I don't know if you can see that. That look like this, right? It's like a knot, right? It's a swirl. So it's not a straight line. It's like this is the strongest part. That knot right there where things kind of looked a little twirled up. That's the strongest part of this um, bracelet. So your journey where things aren't a straight path, where it looks like you might be going backwards or doing a little that doing the work, basically. Somebody had to work to get this beautiful thing tied up like this. That's the work. So that's doing the work. It's not a straight path. It's okay. That's the strongest part. So I wear rings sometimes. I'll put them that are swirly. And it just reminds me that that's the journey of life that we're on. Don't beat yourself up, right? Because you didn't do what you wanted to do, because you raised your voice in a situation where you knew you didn't need to, where you didn't do something that you should have done in a given day. That's part of the work, right? Not feeling bad about it. Just keeping it moving. Keep it moving. That's my mentality. Keep it moving, right? So it is about visualizing the life that you want. So we're also going to host for the National Black MBA Association, for Girl Trek, for anybody who's interested, right? We're going to host a free vision boarding session as well. And so that will happen. And we'll do some versions of it, but of course we'll do some in January and in February. We're hosting an inclusion summit on February the 23rd. I'm so excited about that. 2/23/23. Super excited about that. So we're going to get those flyers out soon, because it really is important for us to also talk the talk and walk the talk within these corporate spaces. So we're not going to do anything other than what we would hope someone would do for us, right? We would hope that someone else would help us to move these initiatives forward in a more intentional way. So whatever it is in your life that you want to accomplish, whatever it is, know that you can, know that it is possible for you. Someone has done it before, and we can help you lay out a roadmap to get there. It's very simple. 2 states of being, powerful state and a primal state. Decisions are dictate your destiny, and your beliefs are decisions, right? This is the recap. And you can decide differently. You can identify your limiting beliefs and know that those limiting beliefs are not true. You'll feel it in your body, right? If those limiting beliefs aren't true, the opposite is what's true. That's what David Baer teaches, right? He talks about the opposite of the limiting belief is true. We call those empowering beliefs, powerful beliefs. And when you believe a powerful belief, when you create that new belief for yourself, then we ask you to document evidence that supports that. And that's the work, guys. So you do you identify the limiting belief, you create a new powerful belief, you build evidence to support it in the doing, in the repeating of that new belief, right? And when the old belief comes, because again, it's been around longer. So whatever you used to think, just because you say it one time in a call with me, or you join David Baer and you get excited and you say it once and you're like, okay, here's my new belief. If you're not reinforcing that, then the old thoughts have been around longer. Your brain is going to default to what's comfortable, right? So you have to do the work. So it's coming back to that belief. So it's you being a belief ninja. Wow, right? You get to say, nope, I don't believe that one. Wow. So you have to actually repel the negative thoughts, right? When you focus on your limiting belief, that's where your energy goes. So you don't focus on it. You don't even let it land. Nope. Here's what I believe. So that new empowering belief, that new powerful belief is where you focus your energy. And then you build evidence to support that belief. I love to work out, right? I am exceptional, right? My children love me, and my spouse, whatever the things are that I am enough. If that's one of your limiting beliefs, you focus on the empowering, the opposite of that limiting belief. That's the work that we can help you do. Again, I'm Tracy Harrell. I'm a facilitator with David Baer. I'm not in any way associated with anyone trying to do anything other than help you lead your best life. That's my heart. helping you lead your best life. And I am a fan of David Bear, right? We don't get paid to promote him, right, at all. Just to be clear, I'm promoting him because I've done the work. I spent time in his community. I'm trained and certified by him based on this methodology. It's this whole series of methodologies on how to help you live your best life. And so I'm doing the work to offering it as a part of this Change Mind challenge, because I'm doing the work for myself as well. I'm putting my own little personal shenanigans out on the street to say, hey, Dave is helping me. Coaches need coaches too. So he's going to help me with my mindset. He gave me some amazing coaching during the first day of the challenge. So the challenge is free. It's on Facebook. Again, changedmindchallenge.com. It's completely free. And what I love most about David is he'll kind of like go with the flow, right? And that's kind of how I operate as well. But when you're being coached, you're coaching, you're being coached, there's something just so beautiful about it, because you already know this stuff intuitively. You just want to hear it and apply it in a different way to a different part of your life. So what David said to me when I was like, I stood in the cereal aisle for 30 minutes. I'd given myself permission to have cereal. And then I was like trying to decide which of the five, it was ridiculous. And I just thought, unacceptable. So I got none of them. I was like, oh no, this is a problem. So I was like, why is that? You know what he said? He talked about not just the mindset, because again, you can do the word about the work. Step one is this mindset work, this decision, the power of decision. There's also the power of clarity. There's lots and lots of levels to this work, right? But this is just the intro, which I think is more than enough to get most people 55% to to address 55% of anything you want to in your life. That's a lot, right? Then we go to the next 20, the next 10, right? So there's a whole sequence that he's built. But, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that we have in our lives, things that we want to accomplish, areas that we want to achieve, excel, get better at, secure things, areas where we want to be more secure in our lives, right? So it's important to know that you have the power. What you really have is the response ability, right? You have the ability to respond differently when you change your beliefs. Super duper exciting to know that we have the ability to change our beliefs. We have the ability to change our lives. Permanent change, long-standing. And I'm putting my personal journey, like I said, on the streets. I just love it. Pam says she stays on the outside of you're right. She doesn't go down those inside aisles. Exactly. I hadn't been for quite a while. That's why I was so shocked for Thanksgiving. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna give myself permission, right? Normally I just kind of do my Costco run and get my veggies and some things, but I actually went into a regular store and went into the cereal aisle and was like, it's like crack cocaine. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm not there yet. I couldn't allow myself to have one box. I was like, okay, I can have this and this. I got some work to do. So I'm excited to say this publicly so that I can laugh about it and you can laugh about it, hopefully, and acknowledge areas in your life where you can go on a journey. Right. For me, I'm super excited to be in a space where I get to support other people on their journey. So again, DM me if you want a free coaching session. I am offering that to anyone who DMs me, first 5 people. And I'm excited about that. So for the National Black MBA Association, there's a separate group of you who will be coached as well. But just DM me. Like I said, I'm super excited. We're going to continue to build on this work. We'll have some work in the New Year's. We got some other cool things that are happening. But, this is just my way of saying I adore my people. I'm excited. I have something that works and willing to put this journey on Front Street. So I think I've shared enough for today. We're coming up on the 8:00 hour, and I am here for any specific questions. If you have a specific question, put it in the chat. There's a lot of chat in here, and I will come back to all of them. Again, we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And so, I got flowers and emojis. Thanks. Like I said, I am happy to follow up with anyone. DM me about the coaching sessions, but you got to go through this free thing. I don't have to, but I'm encouraging you to join us for the free challenge. It's the changedmind.com. All the recordings are still there. I think they're there. He's going to do some more work. Again, changedmindchallenge.com. It's incredible. I'm going to do a few other Facebook lives on some specific groups that I'm a part of, but I wanted to put this out there free into the universe, telling my story and inviting each of you with free coaching. This is just free information, right? We know how to change your life. You get to change your life using a changed mind. It's very exciting. And it's not as easy when you've been ingrained, right? And you tell yourself these stories. That's where the coaching and the facilitating part comes in. Having someone from the outside in look at your story and be like, yep, that's true. Yes, that's true. Here's how we can help you. So I think there's some value in there. We're not therapists, right? But I am a certified coach. Part of the work is really helping people to get to the next level. I love doing this work, right? So I'm confident in my ability to help drive change, truly confident in that. So again, DM me and I look forward to following up with you. A changedmindchallenge.com. David Bear is leading the changedmindchallenge.com. I'm one of his facilitators, and we're offering you this free support, knowing that through your mind, through your decisions, when you identify your limiting beliefs, you get to decide that they're not true, right? We have the scientific evidence to prove most of those limiting beliefs that make you feel uncomfortable, put you into the fight, flight, or freeze state of mind. You're nervous, you're worried. You can't be creative when you're in that state. We know that to be true. I'm just repeating the summary. I saw a few more people join and put some comments in, so I thought I'd just repeat the end. This is how you get to change where you are. This is how you get to change your life, right? You get to change your life simply by deciding, creating new beliefs. And since your beliefs dictate your thoughts lead to your emotions actually dictate what you do or don't do, the actions that you take. And your actions, obviously, or inactions, lead to the results you have in your life. So if you're thinking about 2023 and you want 2023 to be your best, most successful year yet, then join us on this journey of true transformation. That's it, y'all. This is Tracy. I'm out. Hopefully I'll see you on the David Bear, as a part of the David Bear Challenge. Again, changedmindchallenge.com. Hopefully I'll see you there. And again, DM me if you're interested in a free coaching session. And that's it. We're out. Thanks.